Well, is there any reason that I wouldn't want to go cruising? Dang it, doctors. Dang it.
Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, looks like the Westerdam's got her cruise port. That's another ship that's off the books and looked after the passengers. So it looks like we only have the Diamond Princess, but I also want to talk to you about what's happening with other places like airlines. First off, quickly before the video, I just want to thank everybody for all their well wishes and support yesterday when I announced that I have to go back for surgery. And for all of you who were saying, well, I hope they get it done quickly and everything, well, as I was filming that video, as I just finished and edited that video, I got a phone call from the hospital saying to go for my first pulmonary test today. That's how quickly they're acting. So within 24 hours, I have my first test again for that stuff. So, and don't worry, I got in a funk for a couple days, but I'm back to my normal self. Completely optimistic and no problems there. And a lot of it is because of all the comments I was reading yesterday and all the support from you guys. So I just wanted to say again, thank you very much. And now let's talk about the Westerdam. Holland America's Westerdam finally did find its cruise port in Cambodia. So it looks like everyone will get off that. It may take a few days to get everybody off and find chartered flights for everybody and everything, but at least they've hit land and they have a port. So that's good news there. Bad news again on the Diamond Princess. Another 44 cases came down yesterday. That brings the total up to 218 people now confirmed on that ship. And just yesterday, the Minister of Health in Japan said that instead of waiting until the quarantine date of the 19th, they would start to try and get passengers, elderly passengers, off the cruise ship as early as, tomorrow on Friday. My question is, what do you consider elderly for people? For as an example, of the 2,600 passengers roughly on board, 80% are 60 and older. 214 of them are 70 and older, and 11 are 90 and older. So at what point is there, what point do you say you're elderly? There are days I feel elderly, and I'm only 57. So yeah, it's a lot of people who always say you're only as young as you feel and everything, but I bet you if they go around saying, hey, we're going to let elderly off, suddenly they're going to have a case of, oh, I'm elderly. And you really can't blame them. Now, they won't be just free to get off and walk around. Of course, they're going to be quarantined, but they'll be quarantined on land, and priority will be given to those elderly people who are stuck on an inside cabin, who can't even walk outside and take a deep breath of fresh air on the balcony. So, and you know what? I can see that after 10 days on a cruise ship, already stuck in an inside cabin, with anxiety and what's going on, I can completely understand where they're going with that. And that I actually thought maybe they'd have done this sooner, right? But again, we have 218 cases on board. They've only tested about 450 people so far. So that's close to 50% of every single person they've tested has been positive. So it is actually the largest cases in the world outside of China itself. By a long shot. By a long shot. So Japanese officials have been under pressure to start testing every single passenger on board. They are now ramping up their testing facilities and their systems. The World Health Organization is stepping in as well. United States is stepping in as well, saying that will help. And so they're saying now from currently they're around 200 to 250 to 300 able to be tested a day. They're ramping that up to over 1,000 in the next day or so, and then they will, keep trying to increase it. And it does look like they're going to start testing every single passenger on board, which is a good thing. The really disturbing thing that happened is there are 3 passengers on board who tested negatively the first time they were tested, and then tested positively the next time they were tested. So that is a scary proposition, which means every single person should be tested probably like the day before anyone's let go off that ship, at the very least. And then we find out if anyone's ever going to be allowed to fly home who was on that ship, because, what are the countries going to say where they're going? Another thing that's happening right now is because of all this stuff that's going on and the airlines banning people with passports from Hong Kong, Macau, China. You're not even allowed to fly anywhere or cruise anywhere if you're holding those passports. Doesn't matter if you're living in the United States and you have a Chinese passport. You're not allowed to go if you don't have dual citizenship or maybe a green card that'll allow you to go. They're just outright banning everybody. A lot of people are saying that's completely unfair and everything, and yes, it is. However, you got to understand that, if you hold a Chinese passport, chances are you're interacting more with people from China. It's your family, it's your friends, it's normal. And they're afraid that you would come in contact with other people who may have gone to China and may spread, the sickness around. So that's one of the reasonings behind this. And it's also a lot easier to screen a person with a Chinese passport than to look back at every single traveler's history of traveling. It's easier to just say no than it is to start searching histories and finding out if their family members have traveled and all. You can see the predicament they're in. But one of the other things that's happening out there is the airlines now are being inundated with phone calls. And a lot of the phone systems hold about 200 people or so to be able to put on hold. So I don't know if you're like me. I just spent the last day and a half trying to get in touch with a carrier. And the main message I kept getting was a gentleman would come on saying, "Hi, I'm this representative from this airline. Due to the high number of call volumes regarding flight changes and cancellations and passport requirements, etc., our phone system has been flooded and we are unable to put you on hold right now." Well, if they hold 200 and some people on hold, imagine how many people are trying to contact them every day. And I finally got through yesterday. I had some clients coming off the Caribbean Princess who had to turn around because of the norovirus, and they were cutting their cruise short. They were supposed to arrive Sunday, and they arrived today on Thursday. And they were trying to change their flights so they could fly home. And I was trying to change their flights for them so they could fly home. Even though I didn't book their flights, I was trying to, arrange it through my contacts and everything. And I kept getting the same message they did. In fact, I finally got through to on hold. I was on hold for about 3 hours and it disconnected. So I spent 15 plus hours in the last 2 days on hold trying to get through to this carrier provider and couldn't get through because of the number of volume calls out there. And they kept on saying, well, if your flight leaves within the next 24 to 48 hours, that's when you should call. If your flight is after that, please call back later. So, wow. And I get the same thing on cruise lines. I've called into Princess Cruise Lines lately, and they've been inundated. And I imagine the same as with other cruise lines, Royal Caribbean, etc. Especially after Royal Caribbean just canceled all the cruises for Spectrum of the Seas going to China. So a lot of things are happening with all the travel industry out there that is, an abundance of caution, as they say, but it's causing backlog of people trying to get through, change their flights, change everything, and it is a bit of a mess. It is not a great time for the cruise industry out there right now, and even when you get on a ship and it's a good cruise and then something unforeseen happens, like norovirus outbreak on a ship that is received like a 99% score on its last cleanliness rating. But as you know, it's not usually the ship that spreads things around like that. Quite often it's a passenger getting on board who's already sick and they spread it around. And if we could stop getting on cruise ships when we're sick, that's why you have travel insurance, so you can cancel, then maybe that, wouldn't happen as often as it does. And I'm still not afraid of getting norovirus on a cruise ship. It's just one of those things. Hotels get it all the time. Disney gets it all the time. Theme parks get it all the time. Hospitals get it all the time. In fact, all those things get it way, way more than all the cruise industry together. So it's not a thing to really fear. It's just unfortunate when it happens. And, God bless my passengers that were on the Caribbean Princess. They get back. They managed to change their flights. They're in good spirits. They didn't come down with the virus, it appears. And the first thing they said is, as soon as we get back, we're going to talk about where we want to go next and with the credits and money we're getting from Princess Cruises. So they're not afraid to cruise again neither. And that's the best attitude out there to have if you're a cruiser. The only place I wouldn't cruise right now is the Asian market. Other than that, I would love to be on a cruise ship if I could get away in between my surgery now and my doctor's appointments. I would leave next week if I could. Well, I hope you appreciate this update. Again, thank you so much for all the support yesterday. I tried to get on and like as many videos and put a little heart there to show you that I have read every single person's support, and it did cheer me up. So I just wanted to say once again, thank you. Thank you so much for always being there for me. You guys keep me going all the time, and yeah, I'm not worried. Don't be worried for me. So again, hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.